Going? How's everybody doing? First of all, how's your day going? Anyone want to share something nice, something kind, anything inspirational that happened today?
Actually, I do. It's called my pneumonia that I'm in the hospital for is getting better, and hopefully soon I get to go home. And well, here's the thing too. Andrew, did you know? You know how uh, the channel owner said I was going to do Trivial Pursuit before? I'm trying it again, except for it's game night now, and it's Friday, and we're doing it every Friday, and it's every Friday is a different game.
Yep. Oh, and I had mentioned in a message to you, Andrew, that we have the channel alerts now. I don't know if you got that, but I just sent one. Got a typo in there. You know me being such a word Nazi. But yeah, so you can see those in the history. That's kind of an example. But yeah, you can go ahead and do your opening stuff for the program.
Alrighty then. All right, so for those of you guys who don't know, every week we all come together here on the Ring of Fire to do this program, Our Healing Choices. It is a place where we discuss a different like health wellness topic each week, and just share what we know about it. Even find new information that we didn't know about it in the meantime. You know, while we're listening, we could be searching online and sharing tidbits of info, learning ourselves and sharing with others, and just learning from others. So it's all good. Again, my name is Andrew, if you don't already know me. The topic of the night tonight is conflict resolution, which I think is pretty, like everybody deals with this. This is great. I'm just going to read from the program description. For this discussion, we will be sharing peaceful solutions to the conflicts that inevitably come up in our lives. You'd have to be living under a rock or have one heck of a Buddha nature not to have hit the conflict wall at some point in your life. So this topic will relate to pretty much everyone. Looking forward to hearing the wisdom of the masses to avoid some unnecessary bumps down the road. I think we can all use a little bit of that. I'm also seeing this as being a good time to also talk about the how to confront others about pretty much anything that affects us or the people around us in a negative way, in order to hopefully turn the situation into a positive, or at least something more tolerable. We could discuss how to get out of our fear of having these sensitive yet hugely necessary conversations, how to stop allowing ourselves to not have those conversations, how to get out of our head about what they might say or how they might react based on past experiences, to imagining and bringing the best case scenario into those conversations with our words, our actions, and our love and compassion for ourselves and the other party. I believe this topic's time has come. So I'd say the floor is yours when you're ready. You have something to share, but maybe until then, might want to consider why, what causes conflicts to arise.
Disagreements, definitely. People not seeing eye to eye. Lack of communication, not the best communication. And misunderstandings, which can arise from that, or from assumptions or lack of information. That can definitely create conflict. So how do we resolve them? Cool head, good communication, and listening, trying to find common ground and compromise and caring about the other person so that the other person's view can be understood and their situation and platform, so that agreement and resolution can be found, so you can come together on some sort of middle ground.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, I feel like this whole idea of difference of opinion, we have conflicts also, I think, well, that's probably the main one, I don't know, but just from my perspective, I'm seeing conflicts just arise from a difference in opinion. I mean, if we all thought the same thing about something, then we'd all be in agreement and there'd be no conflict. So it's only when we have a different perspective on things where things kind of fall apart. Yeah, where we need to find some kind of solution. Some people go along with this for a long time. They don't deal with the conflict. They avoid it, and then there is no resolution because you're always avoiding it. So I think there's a lot to talk about here. Honestly, don't know where this is going to go, but we're off. We're running. Maybe not running. Maybe kind of galloping.
Has anybody seen my picture yet that I posted? I'm waiting for a review.
I guess we didn't notice. All right, I'll go ahead and approve that. Hello, Joseph.
I was just fixing to say hello, Cheryl. How are you?
I didn't want to cut anybody off, and for some reason, I wasn't letting me key up when y'all were talking. I was just letting y'all know I'm switching accounts. So please let me in when I come back in, because on my other account, I'm not trusted in.
Message received. Yep. And Joseph, Peanut Gallery. Yes, we do not know what we're talking about. Hope you're doing well.
All right, I'll get this ball rolling a little bit here. I found a slide today, or maybe it was yesterday. This one's 10 tips for resolving conflict. This may help. I didn't read it yet. I apologize. It just seemed like it'd be a good one to share. These might help you. These might not, but it's definitely along those lines. So number 1, choose a good time and place to talk. Number 2, commit to finding a solution that satisfies each person's needs. So focusing on what's your need. Hey, what's your need? Number 3, listen carefully and restate what you've heard. So listen and restate. Very cool. Number 4, remain calm and avoid becoming defensive. Number 5, talk about the issues, not the people. Number 6, choose I statements. I feel that, I think that, versus, your usual, you did this, you. It just raises more flame in the other person. Number 7, acknowledge points of agreement. Number 8, describe your emotions. Number 9, be specific in describing what you need. Number 10, be open to creative solutions.
Andrew, can you add me over here on this account? Can anybody hear me? Where's Andrew? Where's Fernity?
Yes, what do you need from me?
It's dead silent. I don't know if it's my end or not. Can you hear Andrew talking?
No, he's not.
Hey, Captain, looks like you're trusted in. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just showing up differently on your end. Don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm trusted in. I see that. What I'm asking is, can you add me to your contacts on this account?
Got it. All right. Yeah. Doing that as we speak.
They're ringing fire. What's everybody doing?
What's up, Sammy? How you doing? How's your day going? We're we're kind of in a lull here. Looks like everybody's having a little bit of a tough time settling in with this topic. It's conflict resolution. So maybe you have something to share. Maybe you don't. Maybe it'll come to you later. But welcome.
I have something that I can share with. Can I share something with you, people, please?
Actually, I have something I want to share. Can I share something, please?
Well, that's what this program is about. Don't really need to ask for permission. Just go ahead and key up and share what you have to share. We appreciate if you try to keep it related to the topic or, somewhat related. So we can, tongue-tied.
Okay, so conflict resolution. In other words, you want something that can resolve conflict or a problem easily with no violence.
Correct. Peaceful conflict resolution. Yes. Anything that would keep or help resolve a conflict without violence or anger. I mean, look, we're all going to have a conflict once in a while in our lives. And, it's either going to go really crazy and angry, or we bring some peace into it to help it not go crazy and angry, because we're the common denominator. We're always there. So we can either help make it into a fire, a very bonfire, or we can help turn it into like some embers that are barely even hot.
Yeah, it's funny you'd say that. I think it goes without saying the violence part. Yes, people's tempers can flare, they may yell, anger might happen, but we don't promote that, and we definitely would not suggest that anything could be resolved with violence. I don't think it can. It's not really possible. People still war, governments and all, but yeah, it doesn't solve anything, and it's not a good way to resolve anything. Not very good outcomes for either party that way.
You sound familiar, Miss Ring of Fire.
Yeah, that is Serenity, the channel owner. And real quick, please no interruption. Okay, so here's an idea. Between having conflict between a person or yourself and something that you're doing, if you're getting frustrated or you want to yell or hit something, yell at the wall, hit a pillow, ride a bike, read a book, take a breather, or count to 100 backwards, from backwards, 1 to 100 to 1.
I can remember my father doing that once, counting, but he started at 1, and he started off, well, not quite slow, but sped it up, get to the end, and then threw something at my brother and hit him with it. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. But I'm so mad. Throw this can of guns right.
Sorry. I'm just laughing. That was funny. I mean, I hope your brother didn't get hurt, but like, what did you say something like that? I think it's like it made him worse. He threw something at him.
Y'all are just terrible. I mean, also another way to resolve it peacefully is try to work out something where, I mean, y'all may not intentionally agree with one another, or y'all don't see it the same way, but try to view it from their point. Let them try to view it from your point. Meet somewhere in the middle and negotiate. Negotiate is a good option too.
Yeah, one of the things we were going to discuss that was kind of part of this was the whole idea of diplomacy. I think it was a really big word for negotiation. So we can slip that in there. Negotiation is obviously like something you almost need to do in this process. Diplomacy is more related to like, states and nations, but diplomatic solution is one where you negotiate and you come to a, what do they call it? Like a compromise of some sort. So yeah, definitely cool.
Hey Andrew, I just thought of a couple other things too to resolve some conflict peacefully, and you don't have to deal with the other person at all. You write a letter to that person. Write their name, write a letter of how you feel. You don't send it off, you throw it in the trash because you're letting all your frustration and anger out. And I guess throw it in the trash where he or she won't find it. And that way you get your anger and frustration out, and they don't have to see it, and they don't have to deal with you, type thing.
Well, if it's harsh words, yeah, throwing it out might work. If they're people that just won't communicate, like they interrupt you at every turn and they go off topic and they don't want to stay focused on resolution and in a positive, people like that, actually writing a letter to them and handing it to them isn't a bad idea. Then they're able to absorb your words without cutting you off or leading the conversation astray. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, he threw something at him. He hurt him, put a big bruise on his leg. But yeah, he counted to 10 real quick, said, damn it, I'm so mad, I'm going to throw this can of cleanser at you. It's kind of funny in a way, just the way he did it. Not funny, hit my brother though. But yeah, good tips there.
Yeah, my mom and my half siblings are kind of like that. They don't want to listen to reason, and I've already done the letter thing, and they still, they want me to come over and talk about it. It's like, no, I don't want to come over and talk to you about it. I've already explained it in the letter. What part don't you understand? My resolution is just to stay out of it. They always drag me in their problems when I got problems of my own.
Serenity, I'll be right back. My chest is having pains. Like I said, I'm in the hospital with pneumonia. I'm trying to get a breathing treatment, but I'll be back as soon as I can.
Thanks, Captain. Appreciate you being here. Again, don't push yourself if you don't need to. Thanks for sharing, for sure. And yeah, Jerry, wow. You've written letters actually to them. That's good because they were affecting you. I was thinking about this. Yeah, if you write a letter and you don't send it, it's obviously something that isn't that critical that the person hears. It's more for you to let go of it, to get it out of your own head, to stop dwelling on it, whatever it might be, to throw it out, like literally like the physical act of like throwing it out could help, like erase it, cancel it from your mind. But the fact that you send it to them and they still want to talk, I mean, it's still important that you talk about it. So maybe is it possible that what you were saying was just a one-way message and it didn't allow for too much of a two-way communication, a dialogue? Because an actual conflict resolution is like you need to have a dialogue. There needs to be negotiation. There has to be some give and take, and then some kind of a compromise at the end. So maybe that was it. They didn't like the fact that it was one way, and they wanted to get their 2 cents in. I get it. It's just the way things work. Key is diffusing the bomb, so to speak. Snuffing it as best you can.
Oh, I've done that like 3 times. Done the letter. The first 2 times, they wanted to talk about it. That was fine. Obviously, they didn't get it after the second time because I wrote it the third time, the same thing, and they still didn't get it. So, I'm just trying to get on with my life. I'm not going to be here much longer. The company's going to be moving me sometime next year. That's going to be the first move. And then in either 2018 or 2019, I'm going to be gone. Not from Zello, but I might not be on as much because, where I'm at, it's everything included, even my electric. So, but I am paying a portion of that because in my rent.
Sorry, Jerry. You're so quick with the mic, I can never get it when you're in there very much. But maybe we want to stay on topic rather than, your goals in life. What's going on in your life if it relates. Okay, sure. But yeah, writing the letter and not giving it to somebody, that's only for your own therapeutic benefit. Yeah, there's some benefit in that, but there's no resolution that will come out of it by doing that. It may make your head a little cooler when you talk to somebody, by venting your anger onto the paper rather than the person you're trying to resolve something with. But definitely there will be no outcome in your conflict by not sending something to them.
Yeah, I kind of took over the mic accidentally. Years ago, when I've talked to people that were judgmental, they actually did help me, and stuff like that, I try to provide much information as I could, if I do this is what's going to happen, so, but at least with the person I would use to talk to, or, whoever I may talk to, I try to find a person that's, has got some smarts. I don't go to like a bum on the street, and stuff like that. But, I go with somebody that's, obviously was more educated than I was, and stuff. But, and like I said, I didn't go to a bum on the street about my problems, because he's got problems too, stuff like that, because he don't have a place and stuff like that. But I've tried to find people, and I've actually gotten help and stuff like that, But like I said, my, I'm just gonna tell my family I'm gone, I'm gone, and then they're gonna say, well, where are you going? The whole list. It's like, first of all, where are you going? Where are you gonna be? Why don't you have this number? And all that stuff. So, it's gonna be excuses, and I don't want to hear the excuses. I've heard them enough and long enough. I need to move on with my own life. So what I'm going to do is when it gets close to time, like maybe a day or two before I move, I'm going to, maybe the day before, I'm going to go say, catch you later. And, see you in the next world. So.
Okay, well, it sounds like in that case, there really is no resolution. You have something you have to do for yourself. They don't like it, but you can't live for them. So the thing is, you just go live for yourself. And whether or not they like it, they'll have to accept it, because that's how it is. You're not there to please them and bend over backwards for them. You got to do what's good for you. So no resolution there, really. I don't think there's really a lesson there, except that you need to live your own life, and you can't let other people's, needs hold you back.
Yeah, exactly. I've gone way beyond, you know, past hopeless. I mean, I don't know what's any worse than that. They expect this and that's it. So I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I've told them numerous of times I'm tired of how you're treating me. It's verbal, mental, and physical abuse, and I'm not going to take it no more. I had enough in my marriage, and I'm not going to take it from you.
Hi everyone. Just quickly, I just wanted to verify the definition of a conflict. As we understand it in humanity, I don't know, I guess, please correct me if I'm wrong. There are two types of conflicts. One within yourself, and the other one is with another party or another human being. But both, they would have to be admitted to be resolved.
What up, everybody? Kurt Paraxis in the house. What's going on? What's the nonsense tonight, guys? My God, guys, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on in here? Sis, are they driving you nuts again?
Hello, folks. Yeah, we're doing our healing choices tonight, and our topic is conflict resolution. Any disagreement, anything that's putting a roadblock in progress of something. That's what it's about. But anyway, hello and welcome to y'all.
Oh, gee, thanks, sis. Baby Dragons is in the house. What's going on, sis?
Yeah, medics, good point. It's internal and it's outside. It's the inner conflict and the outer conflict. And admitting to the other person what it is that you're disappointed about in them. What is the conflict? Why, what is going on? You have to be, you have to get out of your own fear of communicating that. Whatever it is, whether it be a disappointment in others or, really it's like an expectation of others. 9 times out of 10, we have an expectation of others, of how they're supposed to do this, how they're supposed to do that, how they're supposed to do this other thing. And they're disappointing us left and right. They're letting us down because they don't know what our expectation is. So part of, I think, conflict resolution is getting out of your mouth all of the things that someone else is supposed to be doing that they're not in your mind, And the reality of it is they may not agree to your expectations of them and what they should and shouldn't be doing. They may not agree to it. But at least once you both get it out on the table, then there can be some compromise. So, yeah, pretty important, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, one is supposed to take care of my mother because she's her healthcare proxy. Well, they expect me, she the one that has a healthcare proxy against my mom or with my mom expects me to do everything. Well, what if I give my mother the wrong meds? Or, what if I give my mom too much of her insulin or something, and something happens, I could get blamed for that, and I don't want that on my conscience. It's my only parent left. I don't really want to see anything happen to my mother, so I don't do anything, but she's hurting because I'm not doing anything, but I remind the person that's her healthcare proxy, get your butt off that couch and do something. She says she's doing all this, but she's actually gaining weight by not doing anything. She's always said, oh, I got to clean my house. Her house is so immaculate. What is there to do? She's making up excuses.
All right, I want to share something else that I found, another slide about conflict resolution. This is the seven steps to effective conflict resolution. Maybe this will bring something up for us. And this one, number one, is identify and clearly define the real problem. What's the real problem? What's really going on here? Number two, brainstorm solutions. Number three, evaluate the solutions that are basically on the table. Which one's better? Which one's good? Which one's going to work for everyone, I guess. Number four is choose the best win-win, of course, right? What's going to work the best? What's a compromise? Number five, implement this solution. And number six, choose a follow-up date to evaluate how's this going, right? Number seven, celebrate your success. Yeah, that's a good thing at the end. That you actually found a compromise and that you're both cool with, whoever you are, whether it be another person or another organization, whatever it might be. That's cool.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be communication. What are your expectations? What's the other person's? And be considerate of the other person. It sounds like with Jerry, nobody's considerate. It's all about their needs, and not considering what Jerry's limitations are, what his fears are.
Yeah, because my one half sibling, she's like, because things that I've learned with you guys, and I do appreciate, nobody criticizes me or anything. As much information I'm giving, open air and all that, which I don't mind. If I did mind, I wouldn't be talking, she's like, well, where are you getting all this information from? And basically right from day one, I says, well, this is me and all that. So, basically from now on, when my half nephew comes to my door and saying, none needs to see you, and it's like, and I'll find out what it's about. If you can't provide me with information, I'll say, well, I'm not going over because you're not providing me information. And if something needs to be done, you do it. I've already done it. And it could be the most stupidest reasons. Oh, go to the store. I mean, come on, the store ain't even that far. It's like I used to help a lady friend and stuff like that, and I wasn't losing or losing weight, but I was actually gaining weight. Like, are you kidding me? I says, I'm doing all this walking for nothing, and I'm not losing the weight. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of messed up.
I'd like to take a moment, take the mic here, and welcome the untrusted users and let you guys know you can be trusted. Simply read the rules and come to one of the moderators and let us know you've read them and you'll follow them. Thank you.
What's also, if I may add another point, Andrew, maybe it will be number 8, purely to define the intention that once you discuss or you're willing or you have the will to discuss a conflict, to start with, this is a good intention. And this could act as an exit mechanism despite whether you reach to a real amicable solution or not.
Wait, okay, so I'm trying to understand. Basically what you're saying is we set an intention. The intention of doing some of these things? Or what were you saying? Please clarify if you could. I appreciate your being here and everything, so thanks.
Hey everyone, finally there's a room in here. How's everyone doing this evening?
Yeah, sure. Once the two parties agree that they have a conflict going on, so that means their first initiative is to take the initiative, the goodwill initiative, to try to resolve this conflict. And this is enough to be utilized at a later stage, even if they don't reach to a resolution as an exit mechanism.
Good evening, Ring of Fire.
Hello, Ray. What's up?
Hello, Cheryl. I know what's up. The stars. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're in the early, close to middle part of our healing choices. Our topic tonight is conflict resolution. Trying to find better ways to resolve issues, arguments, conflict with people.
All right, cool. Hi, everybody else on Ring of Fire. My name's Ray from the UK. I just want to introduce myself. One of the mods on Ring of Fire.
What's up, Ray? How you doing, brother? I hope everything's going well. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I was gonna reply. I am in the wrong something. I don't know where I am right now. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, Medics Radio. Be good to have your name, but yeah. So it looks like it's just the whole idea of having a goodwill. It kind of cut out that last transmission. Your transmissions were cutting out. But it sounds like just the idea, the goodwill of wanting to come up with a solution to a conflict is something where you can always come back to, where both parties they want a solution. They don't want my way, not your way. You know, they both want some kind of a compromise. That's a good thing. And like you said, I think what you're trying to say is you could come in at any point and just kind of come back in and say, okay, we both still want a solution. We haven't found it yet, so let's get back into the arena, get back into the ring, and see what we can come up with. You know.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to bring that up during a conversation. That way you can help steer it in the right direction. Let them know your intentions isn't to bicker, but to find a solution. And maybe people can be more focused. See, look, I'd like to find a solution, a resolution to this problem or whatever it is we're bickering about. Let's not bicker. Let's be constructive. That's a good word to use. Constructive. You know, let's not get off topic and start insulting each other and bringing up crap from the past and things that don't relate. Stay on target, and maybe we can find something at the end of this that works for both parties.
I like what you just said. You know, keep it moderately clear of what's going on and not anything from the past. You know, that's my thing. If there's a problem, talk about it now, not later. And don't bring up old stuff either.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people do that, especially when you're dealing with family, because you've known them a lifetime and they know your history and, you know, what your weaknesses are or were, your mistakes that you have made in the past. And sometimes they lose sight that you're not that person anymore, and they might bring up something that happened 15 or 25 years ago, as if that's the way you're going to handle something again, whether or not it's related in any way to the topic. It's all it is throwing stones and breaking the window that you guys want to sit there and polish, not bust into pieces.
Like that window analogy. You're not here to break the window into pieces. You're here to polish it and make it clean on both sides. That's awesome. Yeah, this reminds me of what I was thinking before for the description, the program description, which was about the idea of how to get out of our head about what the other person might say or how they might react based on our past experiences. Look, we both can change. Like I might change, and the person I'm communicating this issue with might have changed as well, you know, and try to bring as much of a positive outcome, how we want it to go, into our communication with them. If we come in thinking that they're going to react the way they've always reacted, guess what? We're bringing that energy through our words and our emotions into that conversation. So we're basically dropping a bomb onto the current conversation, the current situation from the past. It's like the past, call it the past bomb. It's just, we're just bringing it in and dropping it right in front of us, right between us. And it's just not going to go well from that point on, because we're bringing that energy into it. If we can get away from bringing the shit that we've experienced in the past between that person, if we can get away from bringing it into right now, then right now might actually go well, especially if right now we're imagining to be better than that.
I'm sorry, Andrew. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we are different people, and most of the time we're better people than we were, you know, even 2 years ago, but particularly, you know, 20 years ago or something. Family tends to lose sight of that often. And they know your buttons too. They know how to push you. And sometimes those buttons don't work on us anymore. We've moved past that. But they were our buttons once, and they'll try to push it. And when they don't see a rise out of us, that's great. That's great, because then we can move on from that, and maybe they'll stop pushing those buttons. Maybe they'll look for other buttons. But at least they won't be throwing that wrench in the works anymore.
Yeah, I've dealt with that for a very long time myself. Pushing, you know, buttons being pushed and all that. It's like, you know, it's like, hey, don't keep pushing my buttons, you know, because, you know, with, you know, I mean, my mom thinks she knows me, and my half siblings think they know more about me when I really haven't been around my mom my whole life. And I have not been around my siblings my whole life. So they think they know me, but they don't. You know, they only know me what I've told them, but then they just don't believe me at all. You know, that I didn't do this and I didn't do that, you know, and all that. It's like, you know, if you're not going to listen, I just up and leave, you know. You know, I know what I've done, and that's what counts, you know. I have saved lives. Obviously, I think it's the greatest honor of taking a bullet for somebody, which I've done twice, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Doing heroic things, you know, makes you feel really good. You know, as long as, you know, you got the tools, you got your Kevlar, which is actually a bulletproof vest, and stuff, you know, as long as you got the tools, you're pretty much, you know, invincible. Like when you were in high school, you know, you were young, you could do all these things and you do it, you know, it kind of made you feel good and supporting your school and stuff like that, you know, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, when we don't communicate with family much anymore, or haven't in a while, they never really gain sight of who we are today, and they think we're still that same person.
yeah, like they've been stuck in the past, you know, I mean, like, you know, you know, like the last thing I went through when I was trying to get custody of my daughters, you know, it really wasn't a past thing. I mean, the only thing that I thought about in the past was, you know, all the times that I, you know, from the day my daughters were born, and stuff like that, you know, the good memories. So yeah.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can hear from some other people. What what your tips may be in resolving conflict. What has worked for you? What are your ideas?
I feel like it's just something that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to have a difficult conversation and and get into conflict with people. But I mean, we've all had that issue at some point or another when there's a problem and we need to do something about it and we just don't really know what to do. So this has got to be somewhat helpful.
Yeah, maybe people haven't found a lot of success in this. They haven't learned the tips. Maybe they don't know what to share. They can just vent how situations have played out unsuccessfully, but not how they've played out with success. And it's not necessarily that they don't want to try or have the skills to try. They just may be dealing with some very difficult people that don't want to try and do not have any skill in resolving conflict, enjoy conflict, or that's all they know they do.
Well, I don't know if this counts or not, but my mom used to watch these shows on the weekends called Jail, or there was another one that's equal to that, where, prisoners have, committed crimes, but there was one guy that's in for life for what he did. It wasn't murder, it was something else. But this guy was so amazing. Uh, he he did it all for mine. He built this beautiful, and I mean, we're talking detail to detail of this beautiful dollhouse for his niece that he's never ever going to see ever again, and stuff like that. And oh my God, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was. He was taking popsicle sticks to use them as bricks, coloring them in. The reddish there, the dark, like red auburn, stuff like that. I mean, oh my God, this thing was amazing. I mean, courts don't really see.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Just wanted to say what's up to everyone in the Ring of Fire. See how everybody's doing today. I miss everybody here.
Hi, Jason. You probably don't know you cut somebody off, but it's really good to hear from you. Don't hear enough of you in here. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. But Jerry, yeah, that's a neat story. Neat. That's really neat. My grandfather built a beautiful dollhouse himself. He was an architect, or actually rather he was a real estate appraiser, but he had architectural skills. Designed the house they lived in, and designed this really neat dollhouse, all wood from hand. But yeah, I'm going to read a little something here. We got Conflict 101. A conflict is more than just a disagreement. It's a situation in which one or both parties perceive a threat, whether or not the threat is real. Conflicts continue to fester when ignored. Because conflicts involve perceived threats to our well-being and survival, they stay with us until we face and resolve them. We respond to conflicts based on our perceptions, of the situation, not necessarily to an objective review of the facts. Our perceptions are influenced by our life experiences, culture, values, and beliefs. Conflicts trigger strong emotions. If you aren't comfortable with your emotions or able to manage them in times of stress, you won't be able to resolve conflict successfully. Conflicts are an opportunity for growth. When you're able to resolve conflict in a relationship, it builds trust. You can feel secure knowing your relationship can survive challenges and disagreements. All right, and I got a chart here with 5 different ways to respond, or 5 situations and two ways to respond. One would be the unhealthy response. One would be the healthy response. So unhealthy, an inability to recognize and respond to the things that matter to the other person. Healthy, the capacity to recognize and respond to the things that matter to the other person. Unhealthy, explosive, angry, hurtful, and resentful reactions. Healthy, calm, non-defensive, and respectful reactions. Unhealthy, the withdrawal of love resulting in rejection, isolation, shaming, and fear of abandonment. Healthy, a readiness to forgive and forget and to move past the conflict without holding resentment or anger. Unhealthy, an inability to compromise or see the other person's side. The other side of the coin, the ability to seek compromise and avoid punishing. The negative side, the fear and avoidance of conflict, the expectation of bad outcomes. And positive side, a belief that facing conflict head-on is the best thing for both sides.
Sounds all good.
Nothing to say, Andrew? All right, one more thing. The ability to successfully resolve conflict depends on your ability to, 1, manage stress quickly while remaining alert and calm. By staying calm, you can accurately read and interpret verbal and nonverbal communication. 2, control your emotions and behavior. When you're in control of your emotions, you can communicate your needs without threatening, frightening, or punishing others. 3, pay attention to the feelings being expressed as well as the spoken words of others. 4, be aware and respectful of differences. By avoiding disrespectful words and actions, you can almost always resolve a problem faster.
Yeah, I was gonna say practice makes perfect. Nobody's good at this to start. We're not just born with the ability to resolve conflicts and to have difficult conversations. We're not born with that skill. We have to learn it. Like anything else, it's a skill. Eventually, at first, you're crappy at it, and you're making a mess of it everywhere. But eventually, if you keep wanting to learn and wanting to get better, like any other skill, like we all have hobbies. Like, you want to get better at that? Maybe we have some athletic abilities. Are we getting better at that? Do we want to? It's different. If you don't care, you're never going to learn how to be better at it if you don't care about it. But this is, I think, one of those things that I feel like we should all care to be better about how to resolve conflicts, because it's not always about us. We might be the mediator in like a sibling fight or something, or who knows, like a work conflict or something, and we're like the person that comes in and says, "Oh, all right, hold on, I see what's coming up here. I see what you're doing over here. I can help you guys." You never know. Maybe you're going to be the Caped Crusader that comes in and makes everything all good for somebody at work or something. You never know. So, just do it, make a mess of it. Don't be attached to the outcome or it being perfect. Just making progress about getting better at this and not being afraid to jump into the fire. Like Cheryl said, I think it's really important that we just get through it. And I mean, how many of us have been wanting to have a conversation for a long time with a significant other or whatever, and we let that kind of weight bear on our shoulders when it could have been we just dove into it, had the conversation, had some compromises, and we're done. We're relieved. Like, we get to move on. We get to walk away and have a little bit less weight on our back, or no more weight on our back. It's like, it almost feels like it's better to just jump in and get it over with. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, for sure. I got that weight lifted. And like it said on here, we end up with a better relationship as a result. What a great outcome and goal to work towards.
Well, I mean, that information is good, and I know it's not going to help my family. I kind of feel sad about that, but I have done that in the past. With my family, they're just stuck on the past. I don't want to be stuck in the past. I want to move forward, and it doesn't matter.
Oh, crap, I cut you off. Well, let me say something really quick. I can send you a link to this page. It's really good. Or, you can find something similar. Perhaps printing it out and giving them this information, saying, if you love me and you care about me and you want a good relationship with me and you want to understand me and be able to have a conversation with me and resolve conflict, here's some tips. And don't point it out like you don't communicate well, you don't resolve well. People don't like fingers pointed at them. Put it on you. Like, look, I have issues too, and I learned a lot from this, and I think it can benefit you too. Can you please read it for the sake of our relationship so that it can help us resolve our issues? And then after you read it, if you do read it, then I'll be willing to have a conversation with you if you're willing to use those skills that you learned.
I was going to suggest the same thing, Jerry, or anyone for that matter. Look, it takes two to tango, and if one of you is doing the tango and one of you is doing rap or like break dance, shit ain't going to work. You got to be kind of on the same page and want the same solution. If you don't want the solution, if you don't know what the problem is and you don't both want a solution and you want to keep allowing the same thing to happen over and over and over, if you're done allowing that to happen, status quo as it's been, and you're both willing to, I don't know, learn the skills to actually have a compromise, then it's like beating a dead horse. I don't know how else to put it. It's like literally beating a dead horse. Both parties have to know about how to resolve these things. That's why it's called conflict resolution. We need to resolve this. And if nobody cares and nobody wants to learn how to do it, then you're just beating it. Yeah, again, beating a dead horse.
Yeah, sounds like a mediator would be helpful here because they can stay objective, not let other people go down the wrong path, keep them on point, and help them to take turns. But without one, you might want to suggest, look, I'd like to communicate with you. How about if we both let each other say what they have to say without interruption, and then the other person say what they have to say without interruption, and find an object. It could be a teddy bear or a porcelain figurine or something, and say whoever holds it has the floor, has the podium. The other one can't interrupt or try to misdirect the conversation. They can't talk while you have it, and then they will have their turn. Like a day in court.
Yeah, I was just thinking that just about a few seconds before you said that. Yeah, I hate that word court. It's okay though. But yeah, I've done a mediator, and we we had something to pass it around and all that, and as soon as we got done, it went right back the way it was before. And it's like, are you kidding me? I've even tried to have one-on-one with my mom, and she never found time for me because she had the other other five siblings, and stuff. So, like I said, my mom doesn't know me. You know, uh, you know, basically when I was a kid, I was put in foster care. It wasn't because of my mom. My mom didn't want me put me there. My stepfather wanted me to put me there because I wasn't his kid. And it took a long time before my mom told me that. And then when she did tell me about it, he was already then gone. So, and I just basically told her, I says, well, it's kind of too late because he's then gone. if he was here, he still wouldn't listen anyways, because I'm not his kid. And I was like, Mom, she could make him listen, but he wouldn't do nothing anyways. He would just get mad, and then they would just argue, and I just don't want them two to argue, and so like that. So that's the reason why I didn't do it. So, but I have tried to get one-on-one with my mom, and it never works out. So.
Well, here's a thought, and I suggested it before. It wouldn't always be my suggestion, just ignore something or walk away. But after you've exhausted everything you've tried, that's your option. Walk away. You're getting nowhere. It's frustrating you. Obviously, very obvious, because you talk about this a lot in depth. So, yeah, just do what's good for you. Walk away. Put some distance between you and live your life.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to, so I think at this point, my nephew comes to my door, which is one of my half-sister's son, he knocks on the door, he'll say, well, Nana needs you, or my mom needs you, or both of them needs me. And I'll say, well, what for? And if he says, well, to go to the store, I'll say, well, then you go to the store because I'm busy. And then he's going to say, well, what are you doing? And it's like, none of your business what I'm doing.
Wait, sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to ask really quick, because you said he knocks on your door. It sounds like you guys live really close, same building, same street, something like that. There's your problem.
Well, one half sibling, she thinks she knows it all. I really don't communicate with her. The one that's got the healthcare proxy with my mom ain't too far. The third one, she's not even in the same town I am. And the other one's just up the road, 4 foot under. But yeah, I mean, even with my half brother, not just because.
Yeah, you're too conveniently located. They can just call on you as their lapdog anytime they need an errand boy. Sorry to keep cutting you off, but there. All right. There you go. Problem solved. Just get the hell away from them.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna put this to bed and just sit back and listen and try to put some other kind of help somebody else, instead of me talking tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. It's not the Jerry program, but I'm sure there's, you've helped create some good lessons here in that, what you brought up. But yeah, it definitely sounds like you got to put some distance. And I don't mean like closeness as in closeness, but proximity, location. That will definitely help than the other closeness issue.
Attention all Ring of Fire people, there's some untrusted users in here, which means it's time to let them know. Attention all untrusted users, if you would like to join the Ring of Fire, do me a favor, click on the picture to the top left side of the screen. You should see some rules. Read them, let us know that you agree to them, and we can let you in. Thank you for choosing the Ring of Fire.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, Mom.
And I just want to say again, everybody on here, has been really great, especially in this channel. Thank you for not, what's that word? Judging me, and stuff. You just guys are great. I'm glad to talk to you. I know we'll never meet, but, kind of talking is kind of like meeting, I know we're miles away from each other, but, like I said, you guys have been really great, and I hope I've been really great to you.
I like that guy. We'll never meet. Sometimes that's a good thing.
Definitely feeling the love, Jerry. You're a good guy, man. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people that are probably learning from from what's going on with you. So I'm just glad that you're open to share stuff. You know, there's a lot of people that are afraid to talk about their life and their situation and whatever, but you know, it's all good. I think it's healthy. So yeah, pat yourself on the back as well, brother, for sure. I got another slide.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andrew. I thought you were done. Just want to say, chances are we won't meet, but we meet in here so often. We're like family. It's almost like we're living in the same household in a way.
Yeah, it really is. It's like we're literally a room away from each other. Pretty cool. I like that. It's like a family, the Ring of Fire family. That's what I like about it. At any point, you can just jump in and, hey, how's everybody doing? It's like walking into your brother's room or your sister's room and knocking on the door and say, hey, what's up? Want to hang out? It's pretty cool. I found another here, kind of more of a funny one. It says, don't be hot and blow up. And there's a guy like ready to punch. And then it says, don't be cold and give up. And it's this guy kind of looking down, kind of like, you know, counting down. And then another one, then the last one says, be cool and in control. And the guy's like, got his arms crossed and he's smiling. He's like, I got this. So, definitely good.
No doubt, good stuff. And I don't know if some of you know, but I have actually met a couple people from Zello, from Ring of Fire. I had the pleasure of meeting Andrew, actually. He's one of them. On 2 occasions, actually. And then another fellow, Andrew and I met up with, had a day in a park and a pizza place, so that was fun. All right, I'm going to read something here. Tips for managing resolving conflict. Managing resolving conflict requires the ability to quickly reduce stress and bring your emotions into balance. You can ensure that the process is as positive as possible by sticking to the following guidelines. 1, listen for what is felt as well as said. When we listen, we connect more deeply to our own needs and emotions and to those of other people. Listening also strengthens us, informs us, and makes it easier for others to hear us when it's our turn to speak. Next, make conflict resolution the priority rather than winning or being right. Maintaining and strengthening the relationship rather than winning the argument should always be your first priority. Excuse me. Be respectful of the other person and his or her viewpoint. Next, focus on the present. If you, we were talking about this, if you're holding on to grudges based on past resentments, your ability to see the reality of the current situation will be impaired. Rather than looking to the past and assigning blame, focus on what you can do in the here and now to solve the problem. Next, pick your battles. Conflicts can be draining, so it's important to consider whether the issue is really worthy of your time and energy. Like I said, you've put a lot of energy into it and you're getting nowhere, time to give it up. All right, maybe you don't want to surrender a parking space if you've been circling for 15 minutes, but if there are dozens of empty spots, arguing over a single space isn't worth it. Be willing to forgive. Resolving conflict is impossible if you're unwilling or unable to forgive. Resolution lies in releasing the urge to punish, which can never compensate for our losses and only adds to our injury by further depleting and draining our lives. Know when to let something go. If you can't come to an agreement, agree to disagree. It takes 2 people to keep an argument going. If a conflict is going nowhere, you can choose to disengage and move on. Sounds like something guys Ring of Fire chick said, huh?
I feel like that's happening here. Someone is moving on. Expelled all other options and moving on. That's pretty cool. Yeah, somewhere in there, what you just said reminded me of this whole idea of when we keep adding fuel to the fire, it'll never go out. You know, if we keep like kind of, you know, responding angrily or, oh, you did this or you did that, and And what about this? And every time we respond, I should say react, not respond. Respond is like you think first. React. Every time we react, we're throwing more fuel into a fire. And so long as we keep reacting and not responding after thinking, that fire is never going to go out. It'll just never go out. And so it just reminded me of that.
And you guys, I'm putting a link to that in the comment area of the post on the Facebook page, post of tonight's program, so you guys can see all of it. Those were just excerpts that I picked and chose.
That was nice. Definitely that last mic transmission that you did. All of that is good. So that'll be a good one. Good resource. Thank you for doing that and searching and sharing, Cheryl. Does anyone else have anything to share about conflict resolution? Maybe something that worked for them in the past? Maybe, I don't know. There has to be something that someone remembers where it actually worked. You were eager to have this conversation. You were a little fearful. You had a conversation with someone. It actually went better than you thought. Or maybe worse, maybe we can learn something from this, but you did it. And now there's some kind of a compromise. And how's that going for you?
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. Here's a couple of other pointers, like people that, with paranormal. One thing not to do that creates a problem in a conflict is a Ouija board. Or maybe like a box. You know what's supposed to be in that box, and what you try not to do is not to overfill it with stuff, because if you overfill it and you keep overfilling it, that box is going to lose its shape and everything's going to go all over.
Yeah, FYI, there's excerpts on a page from a site called, let me get back up to it. Where did it go? Oh, okay, here we go. It's helpguide.org. So yeah, again, it's on the Facebook page. If you guys have not liked the Facebook page or checked it out, you can find it by going to facebook.com/ringoffire-chat. You can also check us at facebook.com/ourhealingchoices. Please follow both pages and you'll get updates, of course, from Our Healing Choices each week, and probably some other little goodies here and there, and occasional posts from Ring of Fire regarding this program and more. Oh my gosh, wait, is that one of our users? Our regular users. She's on a different account. Oh no, that's a different one, I guess. Hello, Rebecca. Let me know you've read the rules and you'll follow them. I can get you in.
Yeah, you guys can also go to the Our Healing Choices profile here. Not the one I'm talking on. There is another profile in here, Our Healing Choices. That one has a link in the description for the past 3 so far. It's a playlist of the past 3 programs. So in case you missed something, you can always go into there, just have it play in the background while you're cooking dinner or whatever, and you'll get some that nourishing goodness. So yeah, I think what we could move into, we don't have a whole lot of time left, is this whole idea of having a difficult conversation. I think we've all been there. We may have something even right now where there's someone in our life where we ought to talk to, we've been meaning to talk to, we know it would be good to talk to, but we don't talk to them, and we feel like we need to communicate something and have a conversation, but we don't. So what I want to get into now is what is that about, guys? And has anyone been down that path? Is anyone experiencing the same thing? And what are you going to do about it?
Hey everybody, I just wanted to say a quick hi. Sorry, I was just singing and my voice is kind of hoarse right now. So I just wanted to say a quick hi and let everybody know that it's almost my birthday. My birthday is going to be on Thursday.
Well, hello, Matt. Let me wish you a happy birthday now. Introduce our new guest, Rebecca. So let's give her a warm welcome. And you've arrived right in the middle of a program we have each Tuesday week called Our Healing Choice. It's a discussion, and our topic tonight is conflict resolution.
Well, happy birthday there, Matt.
Do we need to sing happy birthday? Or can I just say happy birthday?
If we could just say happy birthday. I think Matt's jumping the gun a bit there. His birthday's actually on Thursday, it sounds like. But happy birthday, Matt. We may not be around to say happy birthday later, so happy birthday. Maybe we should sing.
No, why don't we say we're going to be there to sing, but then just be there for it? I am not a good singer. Just saying. I mean, really, happy birthday, but I don't like singing.
I could sing it in Spanish, barely.
I'm actually going to be busy on Thursday because my mom's taking me out to breakfast, and then
God bless, Pino.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you.
Awesome. We have Marilyn Monroe in the house.
So I'm saying this only once, and I probably will get in trouble, or really, I don't know, the thing after this. She just sounded really sexy.
Yeah, that was my Maryland version with a little bit of Serenity twist. The Cheryl version is totally different. Serenity version, whatever. Wow, somebody just peeled out of here. Really hardcore. Burned rubber.
That was the Happy Birthday, Mr. President song, for sure. Very close, very good. I'll have to give props for that. Definite 2 claps up in a circle or something.
Yeah, I wish I had that as a ringtone on my other phone.
Sure, all I want for my birthday is for you to sing to me.
Okay. And I'll give you a choice. The Maryland version or the Sherilyn version. The Cheryl version.
Whatever the hell you just did. Perfect.
very nice, Cheryl. Very nice. I could just picture you jumping out of a cake singing that. I could just picture you naked and jumping out of a cake singing that song. It just made me cry.
Oh, don't picture me naked. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't do naked out of a cake. I don't do out of a cake either.
Went a bit too far there.
You get the idea. It's just a metaphor.
Yeah, that used to be the thing in the long time ago, but nobody's done that in a long time.
Now, you know what? That's just some of those, what did they call them? Something grams? I know there's still companies around like that where people sing, and I bet you anything they still do cakes sometimes. People, like a bit of nostalgia and request that.
I don't even know how people do that. You're sitting inside of a cake that someone's going to eat.
Yeah, they're called holograms or something like that. Yeah, that it's kind of like died out, but really hasn't, because it happens once in a grand while. Things have died out from a long time ago.
They're called singing telegrams. That's what they are. And I think the cakes are not edible. They're just, a big cake-looking thing.
Died out? You mean like plaidwear on your clothes, which we're wearing today?
There's tons of them in Los Angeles. I mean, think about it. There's so much talent out there, singers and actors and stuff. So, yeah, they hire them. They're for kids' parties and all kinds of parties, graduation, retirement, or just to stop by and sing a little, I'm thinking of you kind of thing.
Wouldn't be surprised. This New Year's Day, we had me and my brother had a huge party, probably 1,000 people over at our big house, and we hired.
Come back, Matt. Your mic got away.
Got scared of that beautiful voice.
Yeah, we didn't get everything you said.
I was saying he got scared of that beautiful voice.
No, I heard that, but before when I keyed up, I said the mic got away. I didn't hear your transmission before that. But yeah, if it's not important, all right.
Hey, I found one. Another one of those. I was doing a search on how to have difficult conversations, and this came up. It says, have something hard to say, but you're afraid you'll offend or hurt someone's feelings. Say so. Being authentic and vulnerable makes every conversation easy.
Wow, that's pretty wild. Usually you cut off untrusted users, but it looks like one cut you off. But yeah, anybody wants to be trusted, read the rules. Let us know you've done so and you'll follow them.
Yeah, this is an important one because it says basically, it says have something hard to say, but you're afraid you'll offend or hurt someone's feelings. Say so. Basically say what I just said. Tell them that you're afraid you'll offend them or hurt their feelings. Tell them straight up. And then it says being authentic and vulnerable makes every conversation easier to say and easier to hear. Authenticity is powerful, meaning be vulnerable, be that. And then people will feel a little bit more compassion for you. Oh, a little bit more like you're not the bully. You're like the one that is concerned, actually is worried about how they might feel, cares about them, in other words.
That's an excellent idea. It prepares them for it and lets them know that you're not doing it to be hurtful, or that you're being insensitive, that you're sensitive of their feelings. You want to say it, but you're afraid they're gonna hurt their feelings. So it's like, here's how it is. I'm afraid, but I don't know if my mic dropped or was stolen. But yeah, just prepare them for it. Like, I gotta say this, but I'm afraid it might hurt your feelings, but I got to say it, so here comes. Be prepared. And you're right, they might have some compassion. That's a good find.
It also makes sense to do that because it's better than, I mean, I got to say, it's better than telling them that and then saying, I'm not going to say it because of that. Then they're like, well, what was he going to say and why didn't you say it? And I'll think that for a while. So telling them that and telling them that you don't want to say it because it might offend them or you're just afraid it will. It lets them know it's assurance, I guess.
Hey, we've got a new guest here, Happy Feller. And I'm sorry, I think I just cut off another entrusted user. Go ahead and try again. Anyway, welcome. I'm Serenity, and you're here in the last quarter or so of our Healing Choices, a discussion group we hold every Tuesday night.
Hi everyone, I'm a happy fella from Malaysia. I travel a lot, so I do tend to come to Zello every now and then to listen to what's interesting inside here. Feel free to continue. I'll probably listen most of the time unless the topic attracts my attention. Thanks.
Ranger. You're good. Already in. Man, thank you for restating the rules, even though you're an untrusted. That shows every bit of, respect towards the channel. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Black Texan. Oh, and what's funny is I went to trust Black Texan, and then I looked in the history. It says I trusted Anon Black Hat. I'm like, wait, how you're not only trusted, you're a moderator. Seriously, look at that. So I had to do it again and trust him a second time.
Well, what's going on, y'all? What's everybody been up to? Been a while since I've been up in here, y'all. Shit.
Yeah, I actually think we walked in on some. I'm not quite sure what the topic is today, but I forget what it was. All right, that's a horrible thing for me to forget.
Yes, you should know. Just look at the image of the channel. Doing a program we do every Tuesday.
What's up, Black Texan? How you doing? How's it going, Happy Feller? How y'all doing? Welcome. Yeah, we're just kind of rounding out the tail end of this discussion, conflict resolution. So if you guys have had any success having conversations, difficult conversations, and coming out of that after the smoke is cleared, like actually, good, then we'd love to hear it. Any of you, if you have anything to share where you've actually done it and you've come out both on top, both good with the compromise that you made, happy with the solution, then definitely, by all means, share. Let's get some examples in here. This looks like a topic we don't always, confront or deal with. Many of us seem to not have too many examples, but that's okay. We're learning stuff tonight, so it's all good. I just posted that slide, that last one I was talking about being authentic. I just added it to the photo post for the program. tonight. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I shared this on Our Healing Choices. If you go facebook.com/Our Healing Choices, you should find the recent event posted there. So anyway, that's a place you can check out. And again, the link in the description, Our Healing Choices profile. There's a link to the recordings, at least the last 3. You guys to check out if you want to hear some of the previous ones. Hopefully I'll get more eventually up of the older ones, slowly but surely. I haven't really gotten to that yet, figured out how I'm going to do it, but I will. That, and I'd like to get a podcast up. If anybody has any insights on how to do a podcast,
We're having mic issues in here tonight. The mic's been dropping on us a lot.
Zello's definitely having a big update coming up soon. I'll tell you that much. I know they just had one, but they're supposed to have another one. Completely updates the Zello firmware.
We actually had 2 in a row in the past week. We had 3.18 around Thursday or Wednesday, and then we just had 3.19 over the weekend to work out some bug fixes from the last one.
3.2 is coming out soon.
yeah, we should all be getting prepared, maybe. Oh, it's always in the back of my mind. We're going to have this big one and no one's going to be prepared. It kind of sucks. Too busy with our lives and success and money and all that shit. So here's another one, pretty important one. This is from Lifehack, I guess, which again, those are pretty cool if you guys have ever done the search for life hacks. This inspirational meme, whatever, says 10% of conflict is due to difference in opinion and 90% is due to wrong tone of voice.
Just saying out there, guys, I did send all the moderators and admins that I knew in the channel a friend request. So if you don't want to accept it, please just don't accept it. I apologize if I sent it without asking, but just trying to keep in touch with everyone.
For sure, I will accept that when we get to it. GWA, I don't have your name here right in front of me because I'm on the PC, but and you sound so much. Are you sure you're not Tony Robbins sneaking in here just for a little powwow? Because you sound just like Tony Robbins. But I'm guessing someone else has probably told you that. Yeah.
Do you think I would have an admin star? It's SDS Boss, man.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. No, he doesn't normally sound like that, but you do sound a lot like Tony Robbins right now. Yeah. All you got to do is sound like a guru and you'll fool us all. But yeah, I think if Tony Robbins was on Zello, he would come into Ring of Fire and I'd give him a mod star. Yeah. Better yet, I'd give him his own program like Andrew has here. Yeah, but Andrew's our own Tony Robbins. I think he's better in many ways, though. He may not have the all the experience, but he's a wise guy and a wise person, not a wise guy. But yeah, he's not. He doesn't preach, you know.
Well, I guess we've had 2 famous people on here tonight. We've had Marilyn Monroe and the other.
Tell you this, I might not be a wise guy or not a priest, but I can dang sure work a computer. And I'm not going to say anything else.
And can work a computer. Awesome. You probably know where I was going with that.
I'm like tech support kind of stuff. Networking stuff, you know. Look at my face, you'll understand.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
Well, I have one more conflict resolution technique slide thing to share. If anyone wants to listen for something else that might help. Sounds like you don't have a whole lot of skills in this regard, and that's okay. More to learn, I guess. I'm learning as well because like this is not my cup of tea. Nobody wants to have a conflict or try to get through it. We all want to run away. It's sad, but it's like human nature to just run from uncomfortable conversations. This one says conflict resolution techniques. The conflict resolution basics. These aren't numbered. It says attack the problem, not the person. Define the problem. Explore each person's perception of the problem. Try to understand and respect each point of view without judging. Judging is just bad. Okay, so, and then it says concentrate on interests, not positions. Under that it says the position is the outcome you are interested in getting. The interest is why you want the outcome. Interests are involved in conflicts. Interests that are involved in conflicts are usually related to our basic needs. When we focus on interests instead of positions, we can start to find solutions. Then it says come up with options in which both sides can win. It's a win-win. This is not a win-lose situation. Conflicts, just the only way we can resolve it is win-win. And then the last one, it says cooperate together to solve the problem fairly. A fair solution respects the interests of both sides. And I think that the problem fairly, resolving problem fairly is really like the compromise, where both people have to give up a little bit of what they really wanted so that there's a compromise and everybody wins. It's like we have to give up a little so that everybody wins. It's almost like an essential, and we have to be okay with that. And like one of the other things that we shared, maybe Cheryl shared it, I forget, is to check back in with and see how we're doing with this kind of, you know, are we holding to our compromise or not?
I got one more thing to say on that. One more conflict resolution that I would like to say, just out of nowhere. This came to me because it happened the other day. And I decided to start doing it when people decide to down talk me. If someone is going to cause a problem up against you, bully you, down talk you, disrespect you, humor is one of the main keys that could get you out of almost anything. Laughing helps. When you're sad, mad, happy, of course, hurt, sometimes even depressed. It's also a key with humor. It's not just laughing, of course, it's the feeling. That feeling of humor is also a key out of a lot of different problems. If someone just really, really, really wants to get on your nerves, guess who wins if you don't let it happen? The person that's laughing and just turns away and is like, this guy is funny, turns away. Guess what? You just won that situation. You might not be attacking the problem, but you are resolving the situation with a better choice. Always remember that.
Yeah, you said something about winning, and it shouldn't be about that. But when that's not a concern of yours, but it is a concern of the other person, then at least they don't win. You know, maybe you don't win, but at least they don't when you do it as described.
Exactly. And even if you don't win, you don't win either. You're walking away from the problem. It might be because you can't deal with it now. It might be because you just don't want to, and sometimes people don't blame you for that. But winning isn't anything. It's not just winning isn't everything. Winning isn't anything. Resolve the right choice is a good choice. It's not either a good choice or a bad choice sometimes. For instance, if I were to go up and tell someone you're not doing this right, it could be the right thing to say, but it could be wrong to say that. In other words, make the right choice, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah, well, winning is a goal for some people. You know, the petty people that don't really want a positive outcome to resolve something. They just want to make a game of it and, you know, show that they can twist the situation better, anger you, whatever their outcome is. Whatever it is, it's not constructive.
And Cheryl is right there. Honestly, if you put anything that has the word want in front of it, like I want to win, I want to take this guy down, I want to, when you decide to put your life towards wants, it's not the correct thing, if you will, to do. The needs and shoulds and have tos, like I gotta finish this homework. I gotta get away from this guy. He's really not right, or he's getting on my nerves. I gotta persevere in this workforce. I want to is not the answer. Things that you should do or have to do, more have to do and need to do, or more things that you should push towards.
My personal opinion is that conflict is quite a negative thing. Is whereby one party, at least one party or both parties, have a difference of opinion and is not willing to compromise. Hence, that's why conflict. But if you have two parties who are already mindful and have empathy on each other's opinions, then you won't have conflict. You may have a difference of opinion, but you may not have conflict if you are mindful and have empathy on each other. They will come with a resolution. So if it's a case of one party, then the other party needs to be more mindful and empathetical onto the other one, and then they're willing to compromise. However, if you can't compromise, then you need to make sure the other party sees your point and understand and accept to come up with a resolution. That's my opinion anyway.
That is very, very true. If one party can try to compromise, or at least understand what the other party that has the conflict is understanding or telling, at least you'll be able to understand each other. The more into the conflict it is, the harder it is to do so. But if you're able to talk your way or work your way or whatever out of it and fix it, it's better to do it that way.
You really notice that if you want to avoid conflict, you yourself, as in we ourselves, we must take a stand and be mindful of the conversations that we work with on the other side of the party. Hence, if you are mindful and you are able to deal with these people, in most of the cases you will not have conflict and you will not encounter conflict. People who encounter conflicts normally will not compromise. In every point they want to win, and therefore they always encounter conflict. So it's a food for thought. If those of you are always in conflict, you realize that it comes from yourself, rather than from the other side.
Oh, I'm so sorry for cutting you off, but I was just going to say I totally agree. If everything's always going in your life with, there's always conflict in your life, it's because you always have to win. You have to recognize and see the fingers pointing back at you to see that you always need to win. You always have to be right. And that's the problem. It's not always the other person. It's most often, especially if your life is full of conflict, is that the three fingers pointing back to you are saying that you are always wanting to win. And in a conflict, there cannot be a winner and a loser. It has to be some kind of a resolution. You know, like I don't know, I forget the word. I used a word before, but yes, I totally agree. Awesome.
There is one more thing I'd like to put out there. If there is a compromise, which you're right, there's hardly any. If there is, though, the best thing also to do besides compromising is at least try to improvise a way, make sure the person that was wrong found out he was wrong before he wrongs again. The best way to end a compromise with a solution to it is to make sure that the person that incorrected it in the first place realizes he was wrong doing that, it lessens the time for him to do that again in the future current situation. Always make sure you're good at doing that.
One of the key ways of resolving conflict, should you encounter one, is to walk away from it if it's not worth your while. If it doesn't help your position, then why do you want to go log ahead with it? You're spending too much time trying to convince the other party that you're right. If it's of a personal interest to you, and for you to, so to speak, win that conversation or the discussion, is to then work away to get the other party to understand that they may think that you're making a compromise, especially if the other party's ego is much bigger than yours. And if they can see that you are making a compromise and they're willing to come up with a resolution to solve it, then it's great. But at the end of the day, you are the one that make the preemptive decision to resolve the situation. So actually, you are the winner.
And in all honesty, winner would be the word. But that's honestly not the case, because you compromised by walking away. The resolution was that that person no longer gets to say what he or she feels and compromise the situation. They no longer have to say because there's no one to say to. So in honesty, that was closure of that situation. So sometimes if you feel the word win is sometimes an okay thing to do. It may not be the right or the wrong thing, but sometimes it's the correct thing.
Yeah, I was just listening to, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this guy, Les Brown. Just listening to one of his talks, audio today, and he mentioned this idea of letting negative people go. Just letting them go, you know? Like, if someone's going to talk trash to you and always be negative around you and always bring you down and never bring you up, and it's not a positive thing, you just let them go. And I was listening to that and I was wondering, is that the right thing to do? But in reality, like, you want to surround yourself with positive people.
That is extremely and very true. And honestly, in the long run, it may not be right at the time, but in the long run, no matter who it is, family member, anything, think about it. It is better for the person to be away from you at the time when you're trying to persevere in your life. They're trying to bring you down. It's better for that person to go away. Sometimes, even in tough situations, the only way a negative person can learn is through punishment, and whether that be prison, jail, just being arrested sometimes makes you realize, why am I being so negative? Why is this? Why is that? But come to realize it. Sometimes, unfortunately, that is the only way.
Yeah, you said something. I was going to mention that, yeah, sometimes you do have to walk away, cut people loose, even if it is family. Because some family, too, can be toxic, and it can hold you back and be negative. Negative Nancy's and try to rain on your goals and your ideas and things you want in life.
Pardon my French, but I know what you mean. Well, fucking assholes like that. Yeah. Sorry for swearing. I didn't mean to. But you do have to let a lot of them go. It's very true.
All of them are wrong or negative for just because. Some of them have a reason, and I have to tell you that is actually possible to have a reason to be negative. Some people have come up in really bad neighborhoods, or it could be as worse as come up with no family or doesn't care. Maybe they were born into negativity. Sometimes they just need to be guided out, and that sometimes, unfortunately, also is the only way. So there's places for negativity in the world, But if you can't handle that negativity and you don't want to be able to handle the negativity, sometimes, once again, throwing it away in the long run is the only way. But just remember, negativity is not always bad. Sometimes you need to be negative to release feelings that are inside of you that are negative. So it may not be at a person or anything, but negativity is a feeling type of, it's a feeling, if you will. And you need to release all that you can. So being negative is not always bad.
Here's food for thought for all of you. If I'm not wrong, at least 80% of most conflicts that we have are pertaining to subjects or situations that are of no much value, mostly conversational only, and it doesn't bring actually any benefit or value at the end product. Hence, most of it are not are what we call just personal opinions that we try to impose on others. Only a small conversations which we have conflict are productive conflicts which will help us make better things, do better things. Those are the conflicts that we should focus on resolving. The rest of those are conflicts that are of non-value that we can just walk away from, because if it doesn't bring a value to us, what's the point engaging in that conflict or coming up with a resolution?
Sometimes it's not even a value that, or something we need to know and have a conflict about. Sometimes the conflicts that come up, like he said, are just downright dumb. It's out of stupidity or an opinion, like he said. And also, sometimes, like I said, negativity can sometimes be not bad, in which in that case, that 20% that we should be focusing on should be dealt with accordingly, the right way. We should, for instance, one of the world wars, I believe it's one, was started for a reason. There's some wars that have been started over stupid stuff. Think about it. Most of it's over money, power, or sometimes even women, unfortunately. Mostly power over everything, though. If anything, those are the conflicts that we should deal with and not try to drastically get too far into it.
We need resolution for those conflicts, because those conflicts can result in war, and that's a win-lose situation, and that's not going to work. It never has, never will, never. It's just never going to happen. So yeah, choose your battles. I totally agree. Like we don't need to have a conflict. We don't need to get into a dialogue or a conversation or have a discussion about something that really isn't going to benefit us. If it's something that is bothering us and it's causing us a pain or suffering, psychological or otherwise, every single day, day in and day out, we absolutely need to have that conversation today.
Exactly. It could be a world war that we should put our conflicts and resolutions at, and what we should decide. It could be cancer, anything. But if it's something like, okay, I picked up that tablespoon first, you didn't, kind of stuff, that stuff just needs to stop. So when you can, always remember that there are bigger things to worry about and talk about in life than stuff that shouldn't even be mentioned in having a conflict or an argument over. Let it go.
I support that 100%, Black Hat. I support that.
All right, we're getting towards closing time here. Does anyone have any final thoughts about conflict resolution, or maybe anything that came up from this conversation that we should maybe talk about down the road here?
Just one. If you do have a conflict that you don't wish to get out of or want to have a negative conversation about, just remember if you don't want to leave that conversation or conflict, that there are always bigger things and fish to worry about in the sea. Always.
By the way, I'd like to thank you all for being part of this session and joining in a topic that I added to the list some time ago as a suggestion. I'm glad that you guys chose it last week to bring it up this week.
Anytime.
Looks like we got a lot of mics getting away from us here tonight. I don't know what that's about, but it is what it is, I guess. But I just want to say thank you all for being here. Truly love you all for just making a choice to be here and share and feel that your word is worth sharing. I think a lot of us kind of hold back, and I would hope in the future that anyone who's listening, just kind of listening in and benefiting from this, that would be open to sharing some of your wisdom and not being afraid of what you have to offer and what you have to give here in this little forum we have every week. Your word is gold, and just the more you see that and believe that and practice that and open your mouth and share you with the rest of the world, it's just going to make everybody feel better, including yourself. So I encourage that for sure down the road. And anyone who wants a notification about the topic each week, feel free to send me a contact request. I'll accept, and within the hour of the show each week, I'll send out an alert to you that will let you know what's the topic of the week. If you didn't get it tonight, we usually discuss that like now, before we finish up. But in case you weren't here for it or whatever, at least you can get the topic, and you can make a choice. Hey, do I want to jump into this conversation? Do I have something to offer? Do I have something I want to learn? Yeah, it's a really great forum for that, and it's getting better. And I'm very grateful for that it's getting better. More people are jumping into the conversation, and that more people, now that we have it on YouTube, more people are going to be benefiting from hearing this. Yes, it's a little long, these conversations, this dialogue, but I mean, come on, you could be listening to the radio for 2 hours and got maybe nothing and hear a bunch of songs you've heard a million times before, or you could be listening to something that might help you in your life. Your choice. It's always your choice. And that's what's great about this. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And everybody does have something to share. And unlike a radio program where we filter in each person that talks, here anybody can key up, and it may not necessarily be related to the topic. People just stopping by and going, "Hey, long time no see," or "What's going on?" or having the trust in the new people. But mainly we keep to the discussion, even if it gets a little off topic. It's all just totally organic, and it's great stuff. And so thank you for making the choice, the healing choice,